Hey, Psych 2. Good morning. It is Monday, April 13th, and we are actually going to finish our disorder chart today. So, again, remember that your due date is Friday, so you have the rest of the week to get your disorder chart, your vocab assignment, the APA. Okay? All right? All right, so number 15. Is going to be antisocial personality disorder. Which is also called ASPD, very simply. Okay, then I'll show you a close-up of this. So antisocial personality disorder, all right, and these are in the personality category. Okay, so these are personality disorders. And there was a lot of change in the DSM-5 from the 4 to the 5 in regards to personality disorders. These are tough disorders to diagnose, and the psychology community continually evolves and grows, and how we diagnose and treat these. They're also very difficult to treat. So there are several types of personality disorders. And actually, when I was looking online on YouTube, there's a lot of good college presentations and assignments on the different personality disorders. So if you are interested in these are topics in movies. So I think the clips that I have are from Batman, the Joker, and it's actually part of a college presentation assignment on personality disorders, and specifically antisocial. There's a lot of clips on borderline personality disorders. There's several in there that you see in movies. So have you ever seen a movie and a character who has marked just disability in social functioning, establishing and maintaining social relationships? That's the personality disorder. So these people have abnormal behaviors to build, form lasting, meaningful relationships, on also how to interpret emotions in other people, how to communicate with other people, and just how to relate and function with other people. Okay, so I'm going to put that on here as just a general one. So we'll put major disability in social functioning. Relating to others. Okay, and then ASPD, lack. What do they lack? They lack remorse, care, concern for others. The first part is just, again, write down kind of the main symptoms of just personality disorders as a whole. So I think there's 3 categories. There's several personality disorders within each category, and each category actually is based on what part of social functioning is the main dysfunction, is the main illness. So, but overall, major disability and dysfunction, abnormal behavior when it comes to social functioning, okay, and relationships with others. All right, so they all have a very marking with. Generally, now the DSM-5 uses the term, actually back to the DSM-4, they use the term antisocial to refer to sociopath, because sociopath and psychopath are also 2 of the most confused, misunderstood terms and concepts in psychology. Okay, and then specifically with the antisocial personality disorder, they have a lack of remorse, care, concern for other people. They are very calloused, very non-caring, if you will. I read a case study with somebody with ASPD, and they basically said, they view other people as things. They're objects to be manipulated and to be used, kind of like to move them around on a chessboard. So they really lack that ability to socially connect with others. Cannot socially connect. Okay, they can become violent, but a large percentage, most of the percentage, does not. So we hear about, your serial killers that were antisocial personality disorder and violent criminals, but still, they don't have to become violent. And a large percentage of people with antisocial personality disorder and even sociopaths do not become violent. Okay, right. So, and this is all based on just their lack of able to function and care for other people. Okay. We believe that this one is biological. Okay. There's a lot of studies done that actually show differences in the frontal lobe with regard to that area that controls morals and values and ethics, because theirs are generally often very skewed. So morals and ethics components to it that nurture side as well, but there are differences in their brain. Same thing with violent criminals that would be diagnosed with it and stuff like that. There's a lot of great studies that are out there in which they interview them, give personality tests, but also image their brains. Okay. And then I'm going to put this one as psychotic. I've had somebody tell me that this is probably the worst personality disorder to have because you can break from reality. But in a lot of them, you kind of have that break from reality. But this one, they have a lot of delusions that they are very, very important. So they do have that delusional thinking and that losing touch with reality, which you'll see with the Joker. I think the Joker is kind of an exaggerated example. Now, in most cases, I mean, he would be extremely antisocial, personality disorder, and definitely there's some psychopathy with him. He's definitely breaks from reality and is delusional. So you'll kind of see kind of an exaggerated example, but it lists the criteria on the video clip of antisocial personality, which is kind of the summary of this. Okay, so. Oops, sorry. Over here. Okay. So antisocial personality disorder, ASPD. Okay, it's a personality disorder. That's the category. All right, and then overall personality disorders are characterized, or the symptoms are major disability in social functioning. Okay, relating to others, just any type of social situations. But basically, they just have abnormal relationships and ability to form lasting relationships, meaningful relationships with other people. All right, with antisocial personality disorder, they lack remorse, ethics, care, concern for others. They cannot socially connect with others. They can be violent, and their morals and ethics are generally abnormal or skewed in kind of a negative way, negative light. Okay, this is biological, about relationships, so on and so forth. Okay. Now we know and research that if, I am isolated from other people, we are social animals. And if I am isolated from other people, I can start to lose touch with reality really quickly. So if you watch the movie Castaway is a great example. He creates a social network, if you will. He creates relationships to kind of keep him anchored in reality. But we do know that if you become isolated, you kind of lose touch with reality. You can become psychotic. So that kind of aids into this because these people don't generally have lasting relationships. Some of them are very isolated by choice. Relationships with others could be painful, physically painful. So it hurts them to interact with other people. They also don't like it because they're not good at it. They don't understand people. Okay, so that's kind of also what leads to the etiology of some of the psychosis, is that we are social animals. We need each other. We need social interactions to keep us healthy, to keep our minds healthy. But these people don't get them. Well, if you can just imagine what life would be like if you didn't have friends, if you didn't have, solid social connections with other people, it would start to get a little abnormal for all of us. Okay, which is pretty much just the core of their lives and what they do. They just do not have the ability to connect, to understand with people. They have huge marked abnormal functioning in those areas and relating to people and in their social communities. Okay, so their abnormal behavior is all about social functioning. Okay, that's where it comes into play, and it keeps them from, it massively impacts their day-to-day function and of course their social functioning. So it's all about that one little area. Now, some of your personality disorder people can be very successful in the business world. They can climb the corporate ladder pretty well because they don't care about people, and they don't have those attachments to people. They don't have the feelings, the morals, the ethics. Okay, but in the end, that social functioning is definitely a disability and is definitely abnormal for these individuals. Okay, so again, I think I already had the Joker clip loaded. Okay, and then why don't we just go ahead and play on? I'll extend the deadline. I'll go in and change that now. I'll extend the deadline, and I'll make your quiz, but I'll extend the deadline until let's do Wednesday. So not this Friday, but Wednesday. And then we'll just keep checking in. Probably through this week, I'll just keep checking in on and see if anybody has chapter, which will be treatments, which we'll also do a chart with as well. So the last chapter, you'll have a project, vocab, and a chart to do. This will be a lot smaller chart though. Okay. All right. Anybody, any questions? Yeah. Seniors, again, I just want to here by just saying I'm sorry. Sorry for the news that was announced on Friday. I desperately wanted to get back to school, and I really thought that in May we probably would. So yeah, I think a lot of us are still coping and dealing with the fact that we're not going to go back to school, and the fact that that Friday before it's kind of been thrown out the window. So definitely know that I am sorry for the way that the year's ended, and that this historical event is impacting kind of a peak experience, according to Maslow, in your life. And I know that some of you are probably going to be dealing with that this week, as that still kind of resonates. But if you guys need anything, just let me know. If there's any questions, let me know. So I'll go in today and adjust, approaching the end. Okay. All right. If there aren't any questions, I don't see anything on the chat, then hang in there. Okay. Make sure you have 15. Okay. So this will be your last one. So make sure you have 15.